Hey, it's Joe Glines, my automator. Another episode of what we automate with AutoHotkey. And let me share my screen. Switch over to use Prompt Assistant here. Launch. This is going to launch a bunch of scripts. So you'll see my DPI change. Get active path. Looks like I had a problem there, but it launched the recently modified files. It launched my webcam reminder, which needs to get moved slightly here. It launched my Do Not Disturb mode. Yeah, but everything's listed in the screen here, so that was wasn't quite working properly this morning, so I got it updated. Now this is a URL script I have running that watches the clipboard, and anything that has the automator in it pushes it into the clipboard for me. Well, actually, it's not the clipboard, but it grabs it from the clipboard, pushes it into a list that I'm adding to, deduping it by the key, using the URL as the key, and then when I'm done, that's how I make the video, put all the scripts mentioned in the video in the description. So let's look here. We got a new client. We're doing some work for them. And let's see. Test 3. Who knows what that was? I think I was just testing sending Control W. I was having a weird thing with Chrome. I was trying to close a tab with Control W and it wasn't. Now it's working now, but it wasn't working for a bit. So I was just testing with stuff. Got that to work. Let me see. I think I can edit here. I'll show you a new thing we added because I can go ahead and delete that. So it's going to come in here. Now we're in test 3. In ASM, our AutoHotkey Script Maker, we can now right click here and say delete file. We can also, I think, come over here and say delete files. We added them both those places. When you do, like I said, this is just a junk file. It should warn you. But most editors, you can't. Oh, maybe we haven't finished that yet because it should have deleted. Right now, let me see if I was to close that. Want to save? No. Yeah, that's interesting. So he hasn't finished that yet. But yeah, we're going to be able to delete there because sometimes, you're done and you just want to get rid of the file, right? So we added that to ASM. Oh, hey, look, Script Maker. So like I said, we've added a lot of stuff. Every week we demo it during the hero call. We have a debugger now where you can get into debug mode. I don't know if I have it in my version. I don't think our friends ported it over yet. But we will at some point. After we do the debugger, that'll be the gist of the big things we add to it. So then we'll make a good video walking through all its functionality, but it's getting really cool. So more tests. Let's see what this, I guess this was another test. I don't know what that is. Doing the memory usage. HK, oh, that's under HK editor, so I don't want to mess with that. I think these are just examples. Joe, so this is like my version of the script maker because while they're developing it, I use it. I'm using it for programming, so I don't want to have it down where I can't use it. So I have my own folder where we just port it over when it's done. There's a lot of stuff with script. Yeah, Irfan's been the majority of his time is on AutoHotkey Script Maker, but we'll see down here we did do some other stuff to other tools. So the OCR tool had an issue. This tool, let me go ahead and run it. Very cool tool. When it comes up, it'll show you the hotkey here. That's the active one. So Control Shift left button, and let me take a table here. And the read out loud portion, I think, was the problem. ChatGPT something had changed with that. So now let me see. I can select this. Can I see it from here? No, I'm going to select that. Read out loud.
For HK task 2025-1216S AK editor v2 lib GUI.
GUI. Let me give you a better quality. I'm going to turn on the system audio and turn off my microphone for a second.
For task 2512 editor v2 lib guy.
That time it pronounced it guy. But anyway, you get the idea of the quality. So if you had stuff that you were doing OCR on, you could read it out loud. Yeah, we should make this be able to, we can make another tool, which I think we already have. You can select text and just read it out loud. I demonstrated one a week or so ago for cloning my own voice and speaking, which was cool. So anyway, AI, OCR, that's where we are here. Transcriber, we made a lot of updates to. Let me go ahead and run it. I think Irfan did publish this. So now we have the ability to get titles and create a summary and get tags. We changed these. Oh, this isn't the right version. This is the old version. Let me take a screenshot of this. And I'll close that guy. Now I have a shortcut, I believe, here to the, because I use it yeah, so now you get an idea. We kind of changed the layout, which isn't a big deal, but the titles wasn't available before. So we added titles. It's in this one. But then I said, hey, let's streamline this. So now we just have get titles, summary tags. Under prompts here, same thing. And like in the title prompt, I can close this now. So I have it generating 10 YouTube video tags, or titles, possible titles. And it does a really good job of that. But we have prompts for each one of those things. And I think if you don't put your own prompt, we give you a basic prompt, but you can of course tailor one prompt for each one of those things, and it dumps them all into the same meta file. You get your transcriptions, and then those either the titles, summary, or tags, which are a real time saver. You know what I was thinking about doing, by the way, was taking the summary and pushing the summary to like Nano Banana and having it create a thumbnail, the YouTube thumbnail, because I'm using Nano Banana for my thumbnail. I actually created an app for creating the AutoHotkey thumbnails because I have a yellow background with colored text and stuff, and does a really good job. But it's interactive and I work with it, right? The other way, I have several YouTube channels. I probably don't know that, but for stuff with marketing and things and business related stuff, entrepreneurs, and so. In that one, I'm using it to generate much more fancy thumbnails. And Nano Banana is doing a really good job of creating much better looking thumbnails than I ever would take the time to create. So we could tell it to generate from here, take that prompt, feed it, again, have another prompt in here to say generate thumbnail. And then you could give it your core, your brand colors, things to highlight, things to... instructions basically. So maybe I might add that one because that would complete like almost the entire process for me of doing this kind of stuff. So that's a really cool one. The transcriber. We had one where we were breaking them out separately, then we combine them all together now. So that just comes with transcriber. This dynamic shortcut one. Let me show it because I have a hard time believing that's all we've edited in the last 7 days. That's weird. Anyway, this script looks at the date of the year and will change the shortcut to a folder. So and it's a function we have, so we can dynamically call it. You give it a name you want to give it, the base folder. Here's where we're looking at it, and then the destination path. This is where we put it. So let me move over my taskbar here. On my taskbar, this N down here. This is the shortcut to a folder, and notice it says December, right? But next January, this will automatically link to January because I don't want to have to go update my shortcuts to the different months, and I want to be able to jump to the newsletter folder for that month. So this script gets run not once a day, but every time I launch my main AutoHotkey script, which is not every day, but very often. And I could, maybe it is in my, I might have created a what do you call that? The thing that, the task scheduler. I might have created a task schedule. Let's see if we can see it in there. So, and I have a video on creating stuff with task scheduler because it's, for launching AutoHotkey scripts. It's not as intuitive you might think. Task scheduler. It's 11:30. Where's the titles of the stuff? Yeah, real helpful. Local, nope, task scheduler. I know I have a couple things in here, but they sure don't make it easy to do. I thought I created a folder for, add to list. This is one of them. This goes through and looks at people who've clicked on emails, and in our database, in our website, on the Automator, the WordPress account, it uses a MySQL connection to go and update, flagging them in basically different ways. So that's what this one is. But where are the other things? I know I have a couple of these things. This one, okay, so I have to click on each one separately. Mailgun, check, that's that one. This one is a different one. If you've downloaded something, it'll put you into a different group. Multi-triggers defined, I don't know what that is. Startup. So you can go through and you can create folders in here to organize it, which is probably what I should do. So, here's the name. There we go. It's just, so create, explore, shell, unelevated task. Yeah, but you get the idea. Anyway, with the Christmas here and stuff, apparently, I'll close this guy. We modified. I still know we did other stuff. I'm just surprised, but this should be pretty accurate here for. I do know my Dropbox hasn't been syncing properly, and so that's probably what's going on. I think Irfan's made other changes to stuff, and it's just not being reflected. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that short call this week on what we've automated, and we're wrapping up the end of the year. And thanks for watching. Let me know if you ever want me to go over. This is stuff that we actively are working on. If you have something that you're trying to automate and just want to know if I have an example, just ask, right? I can try to remember to put it in this video or create a separate video or just point you in the right direction. Because we got, I don't know, 3,000 videos. I don't know, it's a crazy number of videos. So thanks for watching. Have a great day. Cheers.